Okay, we on now? We on?
Dang, I was sitting there this whole time. I didn't realize Gary had the Detroit Lions shirt on.
Yeah.
How you feeling, bro?
I mean, I don't watch them every year, but I watched today some of it. I missed it. I missed most of it. But
Did you? So the Lions lost today. So I mean, was it at least a good game? I didn't watch any of it. Did anybody watch it?
They lost.
yeah, no, it was back and forth for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lost on a touchdown in overtime.
Yeah,
Oh,
overtime game.
I mean, that's not bad then. Like,
No, I mean Seattle ain't that good, but
okay.
you know,
But
happens. It's the NFL.
It's the second game. I mean, they can still win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, sure. In theory.
So they haven't been to the playoffs in the NFL era, right?
They've been to the playoffs. They just haven't been to the Super Bowl.
Oh, and they haven't been to the Super Bowl. Okay.
Yeah, they haven't won a playoff game.
Oh, won a playoff game.
Yeah.
No, they won a playoff game in '91.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, against the Redskins, right?
We don't really use that.
Oh,
I don't know. I was 1 year old, but
run that back. Say it again.
Against the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their name is football team, right?
No, they're Commanders.
That's Commanders now.
Okay. So
they were the football team for like two seasons, I think.
Yeah.
That's not a bad name, man.
I liked it. I like
the football team better, yeah.
Straight to the point. You know what I mean?
And it gives like that, like soccer, like that's how soccer kind of do.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives that vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Man, where do we start? I think we got a little bit to talk about. Namely, Gary finally got his like training schedule down pat because he was off a week. How did you do that? Weren't you like off a week?
I was combining like the Luke set New York plan with the other plan that Aaron had with the Excel sheet, and I didn't realize that Luke's plan was 16 weeks versus the 14-week plan that we're all used to. Yeah. So I plugged everything in. I plugged it in, for November 5th, not realizing that I was off 2 weeks. So we're good now. So
good.
Math is hard, Gary. I understand.
It is hard. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But I feel like there's so many people though that do that. All right. So there's something I was gonna talk to you guys about this. Somebody just Mark just did a comment. Oh, first of all, sorry guys. What's up, PR Project? I'm Tommy.
We're live. Okay.
Huh? Oh, we're live now. Yeah. I'm Tommy Runs.
I'm Aaron Worldwide.
I'm Gary the runner.
Yeah, and Gary is also a runner. If that's not clear enough in his name. But so I wanted to talk to y'all about this shoe thing, right? So first off, guys, if you're watching this, tap in, tell us where you're from, tell us if you ran today, how far you ran, what's your next marathon, what's your next race period, if it's a 5K, 10K, whatever it is. Just tap in, leave a comment, like the video as you're watching it. The more likes, the more something. Does that still apply, Aaron? I mean, I feel like you might know. Is it like if there's like a live going on and some people like them, like it during the thing, does it do anything in the algorithm?
I don't know. I'm not hip to the YouTube algorithm, but every video, once it's published, it shows how many likes it has.
Yeah.
So it looks better like on our page to say like the video got 25 likes than 5 likes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get to it because I don't want the conversation to get too far out of hand in the chat. Let's just go straight to it. I was gonna do shoe talk at the end of this, but I'm gonna throw this up here for you guys, and we'll just get some thoughts and see where we are. Let me change this. Here we go. So here we go. Fire at will, guys. What do you think? Because we got a question in the chat that says. The Adidas $500 shoes, what's with that? And then T. Davis said, are y'all signing up for the raffle?
Oh, I didn't realize there was a raffle.
Yeah, so just for people watching that aren't hip to it, Adidas just launched a shoe that is going to be. It's called the Adidas Adizero Evo 1. It is not to replace the next version. This is the Adidas. I'll just go big here. Hold on. This is the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro 3. And then there's going to still be a 4. So this shoe that just came out the other day that's $500 is not to replace the next. They're still going to continue this line on, which is like their super shoe with carbon fiber plates or rods or whatever's in it, right? So this random shoe called the Adizero Adios Evo 1.
Take your time.
I know. It's like, I think it's called the Adizero Evo 1. And it is a $500 shoe. It weighs it weighs 5 point something ounces, which means it's almost a full ounce less than the Nike Vaporfly. They are dropping it for $500. It's pretty much everything stripped out. Like it's super. This upper, Aaron, you have these, right, Aaron? The 3s or the 2s? You got the 2s?
I have the 2s.
Yeah, so the 2s and the 3s are pretty much the same upper. Which is already super thin. I guess they're saying it's like thinner than that. Like, so it's basically paper thin. It's like it's actually translucent. They call it translucent because you can like literally see your fingerprints through the through the shoe. So it's basically nothing. Like it's there's no sock liner, there's nothing in the shoe. It's all just performance. They changed the foam just a tiny bit, tweaked it here and there. There's a plate that's a little different than the ones before. So it's a shoe that's supposed to be like a world record breaker for sure. They're dropping like 300 something pairs of them. Not dropping, but there are 300 something pairs in the world, I guess, which a bunch of those will go to their elites, and then a bunch will go to media. And then this second set of shoes, this third set of shoes that's available, will be put on their website in a raffle. But in the raffle, you have to also, it's like a raffle for like Berlin or something. If you sign up for it, you're gonna pay for it. Like, so if you win the shoe, you win you lose $500. So the question is, guys, I think I know I know the answer, but would you guys buy this $500 shoe?
No, I wouldn't.
I've only spent more than $500 on a pair of shoes one time in my life, and I don't think I would ever do it again.
What shoe is this?
This is a pair of Adidas.
Adidas once again.
It was on resale though. It wasn't from Adidas. It was when you couldn't get the Yeezys, and I just happened to have the money, and so I bought a pair of Yeezys for $600, which probably wasn't a good idea, and I didn't probably have the money at the time, but yeah, young and irresponsible. Why not? Mind you, this wasn't that long ago. This was a few.
Like, what do you mean, like last summer?
Yeah,
No, so the answer is no for both of y'all, like, right?
It's probably not for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many other like super shoes out there that are half the price. And then you only use them for one marathon. Like, I think you forgot to mention that.
Yeah. So that's the other thing is it says on the paperwork or whatever, the text sheet, it says that it's good for one marathon plus breaking in miles.
So what, three runs maybe?
So I'm assuming 35 to like 40 miles that it's good for. I mean, let's be real though. Like when they say something's good for, like the Vaporfly is only supposed to be good for 100, maybe 50 miles, maybe.
Yeah.
It'd probably only really 100. After that, though, it's not like you throw the shoes useless. I mean, it's just not going to be the $500.
You can do a bunch of stuff.
Imagine cutting some grass in a $500 pair of Adidas. No, I mean, but like you can still use the shoe. It's not like it's just pointless after that. It's just not it's not what it was when you bought it for $500.
It's not going to give you that same return and bounce and energy and all that. Yeah.
All right,
good for training afterwards, maybe, but not $500 worth.
Yeah, I wish there was like an ability to do a poll in this thing. Oh no, what's that? Did y'all see that?
No.
Okay, good. I just randomly clicked the thing. In the chat, would you spend $500 on a pair of shoes that is supposed to be the best shoe on the market? I just want to know what people's answers are. Like, would you? Yes, just say yes or no. Would you buy $500 pair of racing shoes? I'm very curious though. Like, I wouldn't buy. I wouldn't do it. Not $500. And somebody put it in a different way. That's half a grand. Like when I heard 500, I just heard more than double. I heard double what we're paying now. But then just the fact that it's half a grand that's a lot of money.
I would buy them.
And then do what? Put it on StockX?
Pay on StockX, flip it for $750, bro. I need them. Let's go.
Look, Maurice said,
yes, sir, Maurice. Yes, sir. We in the same bag, bro.
I mean, because that's that's what's gonna happen.
Born every day.
That's
every hour.
Well, how much did you say you put them on there for? $750?
Whatever they on StockX. If they on StockX, but if there's $100 markup, let's go.
These shoes, if that's the truth, and there's only 300 something pair of shoes in the world.
Yeah, they low key a collector's item.
They gonna be like $1,500 on StockX.
Yeah, easy call.
Easy over 1,000. And imagine if like somebody in Berlin, Chicago, or New York, or not New York, obviously, but Berlin or Chicago runs in these Adidas, and then they like break a world record. In like one beats Kipchoge in Berlin or breaks a world record in Chicago. The value on that StockX is gonna go up crazy.
Maybe.
But I think that they probably one of their best looking shoes though.
It's a cool looking shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with like that color blocking, that white and black color blocking they got on it.
Yeah.
That would make low key that kind of like that's how the Boston 10 was. The Boston 10 looks so good because they put it in that black and white color blocking.
Yep.
Kind of can't go wrong with that.
Nope, you really can't. Hold on, I'm gonna try to bring up a picture really quick. Yeah, here we go.
Kelly said he got 350 on it. I feel you, my bro.
He like bet. Hold on. I mean, but I think that they look super sweet to me. I'm gonna share the screen here. Like they look sweet. Y'all can see them?
Yeah. They only $500 worth of sweet, but they straight.
Yeah, they don't. They look kind of like you know what they remind me of? They remind me of the what's the name of that shoe? The Artist.
Atreyu?
From Atreyu, yeah. But $500 worth of shoes, bro.
See, this is the thing. Like, you're not about to sell me that your tech is that far ahead that you can charge almost double what the best shoe on the market is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I just can't. I can't in good faith believe that.
I think it also goes back to something we mentioned a couple weeks ago, where we don't think of Adidas as the same echelon of running shoe as like
here in the States for sure.
Here in the States, yeah. And maybe folks in Europe will pay it more than we would, but maybe their tech is good because they're winning races. They're podium. They're up on podiums in all the majors.
Yeah, but that's also because Adidas has the money to pay runners. They have a very elite. They're what I mean, like they have the same. At that point, the shoes they help, but it's not like make or break it for like those elites. And if they have the money, just
about seconds,
Yeah, if they have the money to just like pick off the runners that Nike can't or won't get, like.
Yeah, and then the thing is they have regions like Nike and Adidas just have like separate regions of
right,
where their camps are. So it's just like recruiting, it's just the two best teams recruiting over there. And you throw like if Kipchoge threw on the Adidas Adizero Pro 1 in Berlin, he's going crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, so yeah, real quick, I like this comment though. T. Davis said, I paid $300 for the Prime X and would do it again. If the Adidas lasted at least 100 miles, I'd probably buy them. I doubt I would benefit from the so-called upgrades though. So this is a shoe I was going to talk about. We might as well we on shoes, stay here. So this is the Adidas Adizero Prime X2 Strung. This shoe is a $300 shoe. This it's illegal because it has 50 millimeters of stack in the back, and I think it is. I like that it says it on the actual shoe, but I think it's like 30 something or 40. It's got to be 44 in the front. So 50 milliliters in the back, which is 10 millimeters higher than it's supposed to be. It's got 2 plates in the shoe. You really don't feel like. I mean, you really don't feel anything in these shoes. Like they're heavy though because they're not meant for racing in general. But if your legs feel like trash from a long run or big workout or a lot of miles or whatever, this is the shoe that I've been reaching for. I probably put almost 100 miles on these shoes, and that happened pretty quickly because every time like I thought about it, I reached for them. Really great looking shoe, probably one of their best looking shoes. I like the Strung. The last time looked kind of weird, but they picked some really good colors for this one. But I still would say, somebody asked me about them today, and I still don't think that I wouldn't tell somebody in good faith to buy these for $300, because because they're not maybe worth $300, but because there's so many other shoes that you could use instead of this,
Right.
that would be just as beneficial. You know what I mean? Especially for a trainer. Like, it's not like you're talking about, a minute off your marathon or whatever. These are meant for, these really are meant for training, like for just clunking away. And then you got New Balance that has, what's the name of that shoe?
SC Elite.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Comp Trainer. Yeah.
You got the ASICs with the
Super Blast.
Yeah.
And those are all like the 200 range. And that's a lot of money. When ASICS said $200 for the Super Blast, everybody was like, "You crazy for something that's not a race shoe?" And then Adidas drops a $300 training shoe, But Aaron smelled capitalism all over that $500 shoe, though.
But Shannon did make a good point that if it's only 300 of them, $500 isn't really gonna. The volume doesn't even make sense for them to make that a business proposition.
Right. And this isn't for mass sale. I think we all talked about how it's not really for mass sale. It's just to get it out in the market so the elites can wear it, and then
and
so
they know nothing.
They can drop the price to 300. Be like, oh, 300, I'll pay for that now. Versus the 500.
And all press is good press. Nothing offends people's sensibilities than pricing something way higher than you think it should be. Mm-hmm. Like, you're sure to get a reaction by doing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then because then they dropped the shoe 1 week before Berlin, and then that's going to be one of the main talks. Unless Kipchoge breaks his own record, if that shoe is anywhere near the front of the race in the finish, it's going to be the talk of the thing, and then they're going to be rolling right into Chicago looking for it again. Yep. And then they're just going to follow up with like a early 2024 release of the Adios Pro 4. And it's going to cost $350 or $325. And they're going to be like, well, it's not the $500 shoe, but they say it's just as good. It's definitely a play for sure. We've been talking about it for 15 minutes, so it must have worked. It did what it was supposed to do. Alexa said that she read that the Prime X2 is heavy. It is heavy. It's a good. It's not a racing. It's not for racing though, And I don't mind a heavier training shoe, so I'm good with that. All right, let's do a quick check-in. Gary, you did a workout today. Aaron, did you have an easy run today?
Something like that.
Yeah. How you feeling, Gary? You was feeling elite last week.
Same, honestly. Yeah, the only thing I thought about though, because towards the end of it was an 8-mile tempo, in the middle of a 14-mile run, and towards the end, I could feel myself picking it up, and I just kind of had to think to myself, you got to slow it down because this is only 8 miles. So I think much like the Oregon training block, I hit the halfway point. Now it's time to focus on patience. Fitness is there. Let's kind of lock in the patience and the tempo. So, I don't run out of gas, and I don't, maybe panic too much if I feel like I'm off course in the middle of the race, like what happened in Eugene. So, but right now fitness is there for sure.
How you feeling, bro?
So today was a little because I raced the 5K pretty hard yesterday. So today was cool. Started out creaky, of course, but once I got into it, I got about halfway, and I cut it down for the last few miles. I closed out like 550 pace. I don't know why I did that, but I think I just needed to get some stress out.
Today?
Yeah, for like probably a quarter mile to a mile and a half or something like that. Just like gassed it and ran through the park like a crazy person around people in their family. I don't know. That was a little obscene. I don't know if I need to do that, but I don't know. It just the run felt like it was 14 miles easy. So it just kind of was, I was just kind of plodding along. So I was like, all right, man, I need a little spice. I need something to wake me up a little bit. So did that. Hopefully I don't pay for it later. I am on 7 days now. My coach we're experimenting with taking the rest day out. So I didn't have a rest day last week. I won't have a rest day this week. So we'll see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Just experiment and seeing what works.
Is your rest day like your whatever the 7 days, like a 4 mile, something nice and easy like that?
Well, this week the shortest one was 6 on Friday, but this one will be 4 on Saturday because I'm racing Growler 10 miler on Sunday. So it'll be a little shakeout. So yeah, Friday was 6+ strides, preparing for the 5K the next day. So,
are you gonna get after it for Growler?
I'm gonna see how the weather looks, but yeah, that's the plan, to kind of use it as a simulator kind of situation. So we'll see how it goes.
Yes, because you'll do the 10. How many weeks out is Growler from?
I think 5.
Oh, no, 5 weeks. Yeah. That should be. You probably could. Yeah, that's perfect timing.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be like 70, so we'll play it by ear because it's in the middle of the day. It's not an early morning race. But,
right.
So we'll see how it goes.
For some reason though, like wherever that falls, the last few years, it's never been hot.
That's
like
true.
that one year it was kind of like rainy, but
that's simply not true.
When was it hot?
It was hot that one year you paced me. Was that last year?
No,
it was the year before last. Yep.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah, especially on Bella.
Yeah,
I forgot about that because it's just open and it's almost, it seemed like it would be a breeze, but there was like no breeze that day.
No,
that was mildly.
Last year was the one where the rainstorm hit right at the end of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I rolled. That's the one where I ended up with two bloody shoes last year because I did my 20 miler, finished the second half of it into the race in the meta speeds, and they tore my toes up.
Yeah.
We did do the 20 miler last time, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, that was crazy. What was I doing? I don't know what I was doing. Where I was at. Did I run it last year?
Yeah, you were racing Joe.
No, I didn't race Joe.
Sorry.
No, I didn't race Joe.
But let's back it up a little bit. We had some people chime in. So Stephanie checking in from Indiana, excited that Berlin is finally 1 week away. That's awesome. I feel like we'll talk about that a little more in depth in a moment. And then Courtney says, hi, checking in from Nashville. Ran a 20 miler yesterday, training for Chicago Marathon. You are right on track because the Chicago Marathon is 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's almost that time. So it should be getting close to taper time. Should be peak weeking somewhere either this week or next week. So let us know, Courtney. Let us know how the 20 miler went and what's next for the next few weeks.
Yeah, man, 20 milers are like when you get that first. I don't know if this is our first 20 miler, but like when you get that first one though, it feels crazy to just see like that number 20 pop up.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun. It's like, especially if you. Whether you made it, like whether it was tough or not, like it just seems like a really cool number to hit.
Yeah. Do you know Courtney Butler?
No.
Do you know who that is? Because I didn't want to gender this person because Courtney could be a man or a woman, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome though. 20 miler, 20 miler for sure. That first 20 miler, I remember my first 20 miler. I ran it with Tommy. We were looking for something the entire time and never found it. So that kind of made the run interesting, but we ran through Farmington.
You guys geocaching or something?
Yeah, we were playing Pokemon Go. We were trying to figure out where Geodude was. Couldn't find him. No, Tommy was telling me about this trail that we could find, and we never found the trail. So it was.
Oh yeah. We was like, yeah, we basically was basically out there looking for Pokemon. We went so far out the way. We ended up at the mall.
Yeah, 12 up.
And we ended up going around. We ended up doing a loop around the mall.
12. It was crazy. Yeah.
There's
But it was cool.
no
I was
way.
on 20, and it's
Wasn't flat either.
No.
Wasn't flat either.
The 20 is it's an accomplishment. It's a satisfying feeling, and especially if you make it through without like dying, it gives you a boost of confidence to think like, okay, I only got 6 more miles for a marathon. That shouldn't be too bad.
Mm-hmm.
A little foreshadowing. It is that that's literally the worst part of the marathon is that last 6 miles. But
yeah.
Okay, Courtney, I'm a girl.
Yeah.
Great, awesome. I love 20 milers. Favorite run of the training cycle. I felt great. I have a 16 miler next week and then a 10 miler the week after. So yes, it sounds like you are
bringing it on,
slowly tapering it, bringing it home.
No, so I just did that 10 miler, that last 10 miler. It felt so cool just to be like halfway through it, like at 5 miles. Like, oh, I'm about to be done with this soon, and this is it. And it also feels like really strange, to be 7 days away from a race, because it's like you're supposed to the 10 miles today was supposed to just be like just run easy 10 miles, but I was running nice and easy. I let the group go, the fellas was gone, but I felt so serious, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I was pretending to be like talk, I felt so like this is important, you know what I'm saying? Because we normally come to our long runs with such like not heaviness, but you about to like do like a tempo or a really long run or something that requires like some concentration. But this 10 miler just felt like in the middle of the run, I'm like, yo, chill out, bro. Just relax. Just have some fun. Enjoy this taper. I actually feel decent. Normally I feel like crap during a taper. I feel okay. So we'll see how this works out.
Yeah. That's I don't know. That's me being a person that likes training more than racing. That the taper is always bittersweet, especially that last 10 miler, because it's like, dang, like I'm not gonna run a long run for a while after this. This is like the last one. I mean, other than the race, but like
before the big one.
Yeah, like training is done. Like it's almost like, man, I kind of wish I could go for a little longer, even though like your body usually just be like, all right, no, I'm ready to be done with this training block. But I don't know. Like I cling on to the sense of routine, and I'm just like, man, I'm gonna be aimless for a few weeks. And just trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do with my life.
Oh no, yeah, just sign up for another marathon like the month after, so you can just take a couple of days off and jump back into it. That's the way to do it. Do endless marathon, or do like Ben Johnson did that one time. We ran 4 marathons 4 weekends in a row.
Man,
yeah.
You think you could do that?
No, I can't even run one marathon one weekend in a row.
I can't run one marathon 1 weekend in a row. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. But then there's people that have done like streaks, like 100 marathons in 100 days. Not like 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 a race, but like the distance.
Just completing the mileage.
Yeah. That seems crazy.
I'm not. That is crazy. I'm not one of those people.
No.
That is crazy.
See if we have any other comments.
Oh yeah. So the one thing that like I was pondering today is the feeling of being 7 days out from a marathon also would remind me of the thought and the feeling of going into surgery in 7 days, knowing that you're gonna not have any anesthesia.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah. I mean, because what I'm saying is, like, no matter what, right? No matter how great your training block went, like, I'm assuming it's gonna go well, obviously, but for sure that you are going to go to like a dark place at some point. Like you're no matter how fit you are going to go to the limits of what your body and mind is capable of on that day. Yeah.
It's like volunteering for torture. For sure.
I mean, yeah, like, and you literally do it like it's not like, hey, torture me. It's like, hey, I want to torture myself for like approximately 2 hours and 40 something minutes, whatever it is.
Well, it's not torture the whole time.
No. I'm just saying, You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I
it's
get
like
that.
Right. And we're paying for that privilege.
you're
too.
paying.
Flying out Tommy is flying halfway around the world for that privilege.
Yeah.
I'm flying to another country and learning little small words on how to order coffee in German.
Oh, that's right. You're doing
And,
Duolingo. Not
Duolingo's been fun, man, and I'm not doing it on the show for sure. But what I'm saying is, it's been kind of cool, and a lot of the words that they say are very, very similar to like our words. Like if someone wrote it out to you and said it, you'd be like, "Oh, that's daughter for sure." It's totally different, like spelled totally different, but it's like Tofta or something like that.
They're
right.
connected, right? They're all like a certain, like languages have certain. We ain't gonna get that. Never mind. That's
Well, no, we might as well. I mean, we already here. So like English came from all the rest of them. You know,
yeah,
English
they call them Gregorian languages or something, right? Something
is that
like that.
before? Is like before some point or something like that? Like the old languages.
I don't do good with follow-up questions, bro. I just gave what I get. I share all of my knowledge, bro.
No, he said, "I am not ChatGPT. You cannot ask me another question after this."
Oh
my
man.
god! Wait, I want to know now. That I remember that Gregorian languages.
Stephanie says, "I'm doing Chicago 2 weeks after Berlin and have no idea what to expect."
Oh, it's gonna be fun. You're gonna love it.
They're both the exact same distance. And they're both the two. I think those are the two flattest World Marathon majors, right?
Yep.
So,
Both.
I mean, whatever you do in Berlin, if it works, do it again. If it doesn't, then change the game plan. I don't know.
Oh shoot, she's doing both.
2-step.
So I've heard people do. What is it? Boston? What is it? Boston, London, or London? It's like London. One of those. They're
London, Boston.
London, Boston, and they're like a week apart or 2 weeks apart, something like that.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people have it's an easier swing than if you took more time apart. Like your body like does that super composition or whatever it is.
Yeah, super compensation.
And it'll swing back. Like if you get back to running as soon as possible, it can like swing back, and what you did in Chicago or Berlin could actually add to your fitness for Chicago. Like so,
a lot of people do the Chicago Detroit double, and they get better in the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's crazy because Detroit is more difficult. The course is more difficult than Chicago course.
For sure, too. Yeah.
But I think it's also a confidence thing too, because if you can get through a marathon and not like hurt yourself or not be too beat up, and you get to the next one. I think your expectations for what you can do in the next one aren't as like strenuous. Like you aren't like upset. You don't have the time to obsess over it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you kind of let your guard down and just like go.
You're gonna be more. You figure you'd be more relaxed. You're not gonna, you already been through the hurt. This is just another long run, and then your body's just like, okay, I got you.
Yeah, like Aaron, like because Aaron and I both have done it. Like the marathon after like 3, 4, or 5 weeks after. It's almost like, to me, I got to one of the start lines. I think it was Chicago after Erie, and was like, I can't believe I'm about to do this again. But then it wasn't like, it was familiar enough. Like I remembered, it wasn't that crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's so yeah. So it actually may be better than you think. I can't wait to watch it though and see what you do.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I mean, you don't like Prime speeches?
He's a scammer, bro.
Or he's a marketer.
I know a scammer when I hear one, bro.
He's a marketer. I mean, we was talking about that. I mean, yeah, there's a very close line between a scammer and a great marketer for sure.
Yeah. I'm just not,
they're the same person. It's just like it depends on what they're selling.
Yeah, and it depends on who they're employed by, I guess. But me personally, Deion Sanders doesn't do much for me.
No, you don't like the.
I don't like his. I just don't like his.
You're not getting the glasses. You're not doing the glasses.
First of all, I'm not taking swag tips from a 50-year-old man. It's over. It's over. Like, I don't know, but also I don't know. I just feel like we ain't got to go super deep into this either, but Deion Sanders wasn't that cool when I was younger. Like he was cool, but I caught the tail end of Deion Sanders' career when he played for the R's and when he played for the Ravens, and he was old and like washed.
Yeah. I was a Atlanta Hawks Deion Sanders.
Crazy because he definitely played for the Atlanta Falcons, but
I mean, Atlanta Hawks.
I didn't know he played a third sport. That's good. He played for the Braves.
He almost made the cut. He was almost in there. No, but I was Falcons. I was high step Deion.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't even high stepping when he was in the Ravens.
No, he wasn't. He literally wore number 37 because he was 37.
Oh man. Yeah, so I wasn't even hip to that there was a world age group champs, and I guess it's gonna be in Sydney next year.
That's
so
crazy, Gary has his eye on that, and you don't even know it's possible.
No, I just didn't know. Wait, when does it start? What age does it start? 40?
I think it's a master's thing, isn't it?
I think I need to be starting to think about it soon then, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
who's the number one 2-year-old marathoner in the world?
They got it. Hey, you know what? For a can of Pringles.
Hey, they ran a PRI flying pig. That's what happened.
Exactly. Oh my god. Yeah. So did they announce? Maybe did I read it wrong? Did they announce that Sydney Marathon is now one of the world marathon majors as well, or is it the world age group championship?
They're just doing the world age group there.
Oh, I don't want to go then.
Don't it take 17 hours to get to Sydney?
Yeah.
That is insane.
I mean, minimum. Like that's
if you get the expensive one.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. You on there for a minute. Download your movies.
Yeah.
Bro.
You're on there for a day, and then you get there, and it's like 2 days later or something like that.
Right. You'll be on the timeline, but what's it called? The International Dateline. Yeah.
One time I flew from here to the East Coast and got jailed.
Bro, you fly to Australia, you got to worry about fighting kangaroos too. That's crazy. Y'all ain't
jet lag is a mother, you know.
Jet lag crazy if you get punched by a kangaroo too. I'm just saying.
Could you imagine being attacked by something that you don't really understand?
No.
You know, like
bears we got. We figured that out last week.
Right.
Yeah.
Kangaroos, you can't play dead with them.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think they're smart enough to know that you're playing dead.
No, they think stomp you out.
I think they would kick the check. So which one? So just to humor me for a second, which one would you want? I think I know. This is a stupid question. Which one would you rather be surprised on a run by? 3 kangaroos or 1 brown bear?
I seen a video of a dude wash a kangaroo with the hands. He punched the kangaroo right in the face. Kangaroo didn't have no answer.
The guy with the dog, right?
Yeah, he had no answer for the kangaroo, bro. It was over. I mean, the kangaroo had no answer for him. He just hit him right in the mouth.
Yeah, because
stop.
It has to be fake because the way my man squared up with this kangaroo and punched him and gave him a straight jab to the chin, the kangaroo just ate it.
Froze up. The kangaroo froze up. Kangaroo turned into
that video
real quick, bro.
I've seen that. I've seen. Oddly enough, I've seen.
The kangaroo was the kangaroo was trying to attack the guy's dog, and the guy jumped into defense mode, squared up, told his dog to take shelter, punched the kangaroo.
I mean, if you think about it, when was the last time a kangaroo got punched in the face? Of course, you're gonna be like.
My mama never warned me about this one, y'all. Did you know that they punch back? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that just to answer my own question, I think that like maybe I'd maybe try like a brown bear, not a grizzly, because I don't trying to die for real like that. But I feel like a brown bear, I could.
Says the guy that ran away from a deer. But go ahead.
Well, I think that kangaroos are like our deer. You know, there's no study that says what to do if a deer comes after you, right? Has anybody ever taken self-defense classes against a deer? You got survival classes that say when you see a bear or see a bear, when you see a kangaroo or a shark, what do you do?
Like
Or an
I
alligator.
don't hunt, so I have no idea. Maybe any hunters on here tap in, but maybe.
I mean, my guess would be the hunter would shoot the deer if it came at him. Probably.
Yeah. No, Mark, you gotta follow along. We're not back to bears this week. We're talking about kangaroos now. You know, we're just trying to cover all the bases. And if we start doing triathlons, we're gonna start having to talk about sharks.
Look, I'm not gonna run in the world championships for the Abbott World Majors unless I figure out what the kangaroo situation is. So this is a good discussion for everybody.
I mean, that's the fair request.
Sharks get a bad rap.
Yeah, sharks don't really even.
Killer whales kill more people than sharks.
Hence the name.
Orcas. I'm sorry. Orcas.
Yeah, don't
Oh, yeah.
don't do that.
I'm sorry.
They got a real name.
I didn't mean to do that to the orcas. My bad. Orcas kill more humans than sharks. What are we talking about? I don't know, Maurice. Are we talking about Bambi looking deer, or are we talking about the entire family of deer that include moose? Hey, y'all seen that one? All right, this is gonna turn into an animals.
Did you see the elk one you're talking about? The elk?
That one video go viral like every year of
that
moose walking down the street.
It's huge, right?
Massive, bro. Massive.
Okay.
I don't believe that video is real. The moose is so big.
Is that the one where he shakes his head and the antlers fall off?
No, that's a different one. This one, he's
literally
walking on the side of the road, and it's massive. It's like a semi truck. I'm like, no, this can't be real.
Well, no, I think that car was small. I think it's a big. So listen,
like a Mini Cooper.
Are we getting too far off track here?
I'm just saying when you're running, but no, honestly though, we're joking about it, but listen, someone in this country or world has had to encounter a moose on a run.
Oh, for sure.
Facts, right?
Bro, they say a male moose can grow up to 1,500 pounds, bro.
I don't even know what that means.
Right.
I don't even know what that looks like.
1,500 pounds. That's insane, bro.
Is that like a refrigerator?
That's like 15 of us. Well, no, we're not 100 pounds. It's like 12 of us, bro. 10,
12 of us.
Something like that.
I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what that looks like, man.
Just how big are they? Let's see.
How much does a
Aaron's down the rabbit hole. How
much does a Toyota Corolla weigh?
An Alaskan moose can often surpass 7 feet tall.
That's stupid.
For comparison, the average horse is 5'4".
What? Say it again.
It says an average horse is 5'4".
No.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Like at the back or like
probably the back.
Maybe the back, right?
Average, Gary. There's obviously tall people and horses out here.
You mean like little mini horses, like little Sebastian?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're counting them. But that's crazy though. But listen, so on a serious note, Toyota Corollas weigh 3,000 pounds. So a moose, an animal that has 4 legs, I just feel like it just seems really crazy for it to be half of that. That's a lot of moose. Feed a whole village.
People eat moose? Meese?
Yeah.
Meese?
I haven't. I said it like I have.
Meese?
Like people eat elk, you know what I mean? Ask Joe Rogan. He probably eats all that.
He might eat. All right, we ain't gonna do that.
All right, okay, yeah.
So Tommy, you're going to Berlin. Are we gonna talk about any more shoes, or are we gonna talk about Berlin, dude? What do you want to?
Let's just think of shoes. We're on shoes. Let's talk about the ones that are I think all of us like, or like 2 of us definitely like. One of us kind of is on the fence, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's do that. All right, guys, we're switching gears. If you guys want to talk about animals, you just gotta wait a minute, okay? All right, so we're going with the Adidas. I mean, whoa!
Yikes!
Just start over. Abort the mission.
Dossler on the brain.
Can you just take it over, please?
All right, so we are talking about the New Balance Fresh Foam 1080 V13. Did it come out, or did they just announce it?
It comes out on the 13th of October.
Yeah.
So yeah, we officially got an announcement They were launched. The campaign was launched for them this past week. We've had them for quite some time. There has been mixed reviews on the 1080, the last few iterations. I think people really like the V11. People were not as excited about the V12. The V13 seems to hit the sweet spot, and people are really enjoying them, including myself, including Tommy. I've worn this shoe probably more than any other shoe in my rotation. As you can see, I had the shoe like a month, and it already looks like it's been through. It's been up and through there. So, but I really enjoy this shoe as a trainer. I find myself reaching for it quite a bit. So, I co-sign this. Tommy, what about you?
I super co-sign it. I think that it's perfect for what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a daily trainer. It's supposed to take some of the impact off the feet and the ankles and all that stuff. But I feel like I like the last one, but I feel like they've done a better job. It seems like the foam to me is softer somehow, but more stable as well, which is a weird thing to say, I guess. And when you put the shoe on and like step into a verse to maybe walk a couple steps, first thought I get is marshmallows. Like if I was to put my foot in a bag of marshmallows and walk, that would be this. I think, you know what I mean? It's super comfortable. And I think on a day where you've run, like a Monday, you did a long run the day before, or like a Thursday for me, like, 'cause it's a day after a workout, this shoe seems to be perfect because it's light enough, snappy enough, but comfortable enough to get through some really good miles. I give it, if I was doing 1 out of 5 deer, I'd have to give it like for a recovery training shoe, I'd probably give it a 4.8 deer.
You could run away from 4.8 deer is what you're saying?
No. No. What would you give it on a rating 1 to 5? Aaron.
I told you this before. I think I gave it like a 4.3.
Yeah.
Yes, but that is and that might be underselling it, because like I said, I put more miles on these than any other shoe I own in the last month. I find myself reaching for them when I need a recovery day, but also I've done 8 miles plus strides in these. I don't know if a long run will be a thing in these, but I wouldn't be surprised, because they are very sturdy. Like, I haven't felt like, okay, I've taken this shoe past this limit yet, and I've done quite a bit of different things in them. So yeah, 4.3 easy. And I might even go a little higher if it holds up for a nice amount of time. I don't know how many miles I have on them exactly, but I mean, they haven't. I feel like they're I've got at least 80 miles on these, and they haven't even started to break down at all. So that's a big thing too. For a price point of 165, if they can hold up for 300 plus miles, I'll be extremely impressed.
Yeah. Gary, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, initially, and I wasn't a fan, to be honest with you. I felt like on foot they were super comfortable, like the marshmallow thing, but they reminded me too much of the Nike Invincible, which I wasn't a fan of at all. But with that being said, I've worn them a few times since then, and they're growing on me. But I personally, I think for me, it's just too soft. I think I might be not the market for this, but I definitely need to get some more miles in. I've worn them a handful of times. Everybody loves them, so I feel like I got to just keep trying them out to see what I'm missing for sure. I just, and maybe it's just not the shoe for me, but I'll keep testing them out, because daily trainers are not a lot of regular daily trainers out there anymore, it seems like, in terms of what we're seeing. So like the New Balance Propel V4, I really like those as a daily trainer. So they're a completely different shoe than this. So I'll keep testing it out, but I think it's just too squishy for me.
I think the fact that you really like the Propels so much, I would automatically assume that you wouldn't like these as much, because you use those shoes on days that I would be like, no way, like I need a little more, you know what I mean? Like, I think you're more of honestly, I feel like sometimes you're more of like a minimalist type of runner. Yeah. You ran in the Atreus for a long time.
Yeah.
But
But
that's not.
I can't run in those anymore though either. Now they're too.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
too not stacked high enough anymore. But
yes, I'm not sure if you had these, Gary, but Aaron, I think you like the Fuel Cell Rebels a lot. Well, which it depends on what number, right?
Yeah. We had the V2
We have
and
both.
V3.
Yeah, 2 and 3. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The V2 was cool, but it died super quick.
It was too soft.
It was too soft, and it was just too. It was like they went OD on trying to make it light, and that kind of took away from the ability for it to be durable. The V3 is good, but it's a totally different shoe, totally different purpose than this. This is much closer to a max cushion trainer than the Rebel. The Rebel is more like a snappy, like tempo almost shoe sometimes, but it's on the minimalist side. So yeah, no, I much prefer the 1080 V13 over that. This is definitely high on my list.
I feel like Winston said that he feels like the Invincible 3 is starting to get a lot more love, and definitely going to cop a pair when his finally die out. I feel like this is, I wouldn't say the same thing. I didn't necessarily love the I didn't like the Invincible 3s or 2s, whatever ones I had at all, really. But I feel like I think I didn't like it because the way that they structured like the bottom of the shoe, like the midsole and the whatever the bottom part's called, the outsole, and it just seemed like it was too much shoe where I needed it to be a little less and more feel like a running shoe. And New Balance did a really good job of like cramming a bunch of really great foam underfoot. It feels like a running shoe. It doesn't feel clunky. It doesn't feel like it's outside of your foot. You know, it doesn't feel like you're running in moon boots, which is what the Invincibles doing for me. Aaron loved you put a ton of miles on the Invincibles.
Yeah, the first one. That was the Invincible 1.
Oh, 1. But it was fairly similar to the 2, right? Shape wise, like
yeah.
But what do you think in comparison to those?
I think those with the full length Zoom X foam, they were a little bouncier than these.
Than these, okay.
And like you said, I put more miles on that Nike Invincible than any other shoe I've ever worn. I think I got to like 500 miles on that. So it kind of evolved as a shoe as you go through. Like, you know, sometimes shoes kind of turn into different, like you get different purposes out of a shoe the more miles you put on it. I feel like we don't do that as much anymore because we don't really wear our shoes through a full life cycle as much. Which I
really like a shoe, you know?
Yeah. So, but I'm interested to see how this reacts to more and more mileage and more just wear and tear. But I wore these for my warm up before the 5K yesterday, and then took my race shoes off and wore these for the cool down. And it wasn't like, you know, you get that feeling coming from like a trainer to a super shoe and then back to a trainer. It feels like super different. I didn't get that feeling. Like it felt smooth. The transition felt smooth. So that was interesting too. I noticed that yesterday.
That's good. That's the funny part was I went from Pro 3s in a workout or a long run to the ID0 Prime X. So I'm thinking, okay, same feeling, just one's heavier than the other. So different. It was like it was actually like it was a tough transition. Probably because of the weight though, too. Like we're talking about a shoe is probably double the weight of the other. So probably just a little too much. But yeah, I like those shoes a lot. All right, let's you want me to talk about Berlin for a little bit? See what we got?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about Berlin. So Berlin Marathon is 7 days away from today. Hopefully at this time of the day, 7 days from now, I will have already finished the marathon at some point in the day and run well. So it's been a weird training block though, because it's always we started off with Summer of Speed, so it wasn't like our traditional like 12 weeks out. You're at whatever the mileage is and start ramping up from there. We were still in Summer of Speed racing, 12 weeks ago. So it's been a lot different than the normal training block for me, and it's actually been pretty refreshing. It's been fun. Been ramping up mileage pretty quickly after a certain point, and I'm like, I feel like I never said I feel like I'm ready. When people ask me if I'm ready for it, I don't normally say yes because I always know. Like, I mean, I feel like I know that the next few runs aren't going to make or break me between now and then. But it's no point in being like super hype about it and ready for it a month ago or even today. So it's just like, just got to pack my bags, get my stuff together, make sure the kit's in the carry-on, and then do the couple runs once I get there, do a couple, and then Saturday, that'll be the day when it's like, okay, after the shakeout on Saturday, which if you're going to be in Berlin, I'm hosting, which is super dope. I'm hosting a shakeout run for CLA. They got a pop-up, and I'm going to be hosting a shakeout run with coffee, and we're going to get 2-3 miles in, probably catch some of the course maybe, and then get back and have coffee and chat and all that stuff. So it's super.
You left out the part where you're giving German lessons too.
Oh, I'll be giving German lessons too. My bad. Because I know how to order coffee and such. So that should be a good vibe. So if anybody needs any help ordering coffee, just come to me. I will do it for you. But it should be dope. It's a really dope vibe. But after that shakeout that's when I'll be, switch into the like, okay, it's tomorrow. It's the next run. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Ready to go, I think.
What are you most looking forward to?
About in the race. I don't know. I never looked at it like that. I think I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing where the line is, like where it turns into, because every time like it seems like I've raced and kind of went after it, it seems like that line is kind of moving a little bit farther away. Like that's, and I'm hoping that this time it's even farther, so it's like I'm interested to see like where I start having like pull out my mantras and like really digging deep. I feel like I'm faster going into this than any. I feel like I feel like I'm faster than I've been, especially endurance wise. I've had some really great workouts, and only a couple of the workouts that I've had in this training block were like ones where I had to like think about too much or like try to push through. Mm-hmm. So, and they've all been at pace, and I've never, you know what I mean? So it's like, hey, we got so everything's been great. But yeah, I'm looking forward to like pushing the line and seeing like how far it goes. And I like, because somebody asked, I was having a conversation about the race, and they're like, oh, well, summer speed, were you guys doing summer speed to make the marathon feel easier or make your marathon pace feel easier? And honestly, to me, summer speed for me was not to make the marathon easier. It was to make the marathon faster. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think those things are kind of tied though, right?
No, I mean, because like
it's kind of like icing on the cake, like it's.
Yeah, well, no, for me, it's like, so let's just say 7 minutes flat. Like if you go do some speed and that your marathon pace is going to be 7 minutes flat, and then you go do a bunch of speed work on the 5Ks, 10Ks, and then keep it at 7 flat, then yeah, you're making 7 flat feel easier. But my goal was to bring it down to like 640 or 645. And so like essentially, like, because we also like running a marathon is not really getting easier unless you're running the same thing over and over every year. And that's like your goal, is just to keep it at the same number. But if you're pushing to get to like this next thing, this next speed, this next pace, it's all like, my first marathon probably was as painful as the Boston one. It's 30 something minutes difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I'm okay with it.
I think that's what makes it easier though. Is would you rather torture yourself for 3 hours and 15 minutes or torture yourself for 2 hours and 45 minutes?
Yeah. Time wise for sure. Yeah. But I meant like it was just.
You mean effort? I get what you're saying.
I used it to try to make myself be able to give a higher output and reach the same pain threshold, or maybe even push it further. You know what I'm saying?
In terms of the course, I'm sure you've gone down the rabbit hole of like, YouTube videos for Berlin and whatnot. Do they have like Boston's got Heartbreak,
Yeah.
New York's got Queensboro, Chicago's got the quiet district over by like I think Mexican Town or whatever by the United Center. Is there anything like that for Berlin that they've been like you gotta get through this portion of it?
Okay, well, I'm gonna answer that one honestly and fairly. Only Berlin marathons that I've watched are like the races that I've watched, and so it doesn't really show the course much. I haven't sat and listened, like watched or listened to like any of like the breakdowns of the course. I don't know why. Normally, I'm very like into that, and I'll like be on a treadmill. Like I was on the treadmill watching, the Boston Super Speed one or whatever, the Hyperlapse video. But I haven't done that, and I mean, I feel like I know why. Like, because I feel like Chicago. I guess Chicago, there is a spot where it's pretty quiet there. But I guess I'm okay with that. Like when I look at like a Boston or New York, like I want to know where the hills are because that's like the actual like the course is going to give you something to work for, And I feel like all the people that I've talked to about Berlin, it's like it's pretty straightforward. Like just it's gonna be fast. It's just like that. You just go. So I'm really going into it with just try to turn off the brain and hit the splits. And maybe even on ones where I feel really decent, cut it down just a tiny, tiny bit. And hopefully just average lower than what I train for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, because I think some courses like in Chicago, like if I go back there to run a race, I don't think I'll put much thought into like the course much because it's a fast race. I mean, you got to be ready for a couple spots where it does get really quiet there, like at 20, was that 21 to 22? Something like that.
16, yeah, and then and then the 20s, yeah.
You do that little weird thing out where you think that you're gonna come back, but you're not, and you go out for like another. But like that's like a mental lapse. Like that's like you don't have to be prepared for that. Really, you just have to just stay in. If you didn't do that thing, like I'll be right there in like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
then you'd be fine. All right. So Adrian Turner said, "Are you going to use a pacer?" Yeah. Well, I was talking to Kipchoge, and he's got a few good guys pulling up. So I'm probably rock with them. I don't think they have pace groups for sub 3. They don't normally. Maybe they do in Berlin, but I don't think that they do. Alexis said, "Good luck to everyone running Berlin. Say hi to Kipchoge for me. I will. Hopefully, he gets. We stop and get that almond milk latte that we were talking about." But yeah, everything's so I'm gonna wear the Adidas Adizero Pro 3s unless Adidas decides to randomly send me the 500s. That's what I'm calling them, the Evo ones. But if they send me those, I'd be happy to rock those. But I'll wear the Adidas Adizero Pro 3s, and I don't have a race kit yet, technically. And that's it, man. I go Wednesday. My mom is me. I get there Thursday. My mom's coming on Friday. So I'll get to hang out with her. I get to do a panel with Pioneers, which is dope. I cannot believe. Let's talk about this, bro. Pioneers, a black-owned running apparel brand, is doing a pop-up in Berlin, bro.
One thing about Sid, he gonna be there.
He gonna be
Sid gonna be there. He not gonna miss nothing.
We still cheered.
If it's only him, he not missing nothing, bro. Salute that man because he got frequent flyer miles because he be everywhere.
Bro, that's so crazy to me. When they was like, "Yeah, you want to come to?" I'm like, "You doing what?" Not only it's like a real pop up. It's like it's this the whole thing. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. The Adidas is gonna have those 500 those 500s waiting for me in Berlin. Hey, that's what's up. If they have the 500s waiting for me, I don't even need to do a test run. I'm just putting them on, and if my feet,
explode.
Yeah. Kipchoge ran Berlin with his insoles flapping, So if he can do that, I can do that. But no, it's super dope. I'm probably really nervous about it. I'm just not able to show it at the moment, but I think it'd be really cool though. Like it is crazy to know that you're about to do a thing that's really terribly difficult, and try to push yourself like that. But I feel like it's going to be a good day.
I feel like you kind of had opportunities to distract yourself because you did so many races in the fall.
Yeah.
Like, you never really got a chance to like hone in on one specific one because you did so many.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe since you have the opportunity to like give this one your full undivided attention, then that's why you don't show your nervousness, because it's like you feel like you're fully prepared. You're not in a situation of like uncertainty or anything like that.
Yeah, because I wasn't necessarily. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right, because I wasn't necessarily nervous for like Boston either, or I wasn't like, I was pretty locked in for Boston too, because there was nothing else before it except for like a tune-up, or the simulator, and that that went well. So I mean, I'm like, I feel better than I did when I was going to Boston. So miles were good. Tapered this week, back to 51. Y'all going the opposite. It feels weird though to be mildly jealous and like comparing myself to y'all, which is weird. I'm not supposed to be like thinking about what y'all miles are. I'm like, what'd you do, Gary? Like, what, how many miles did you do this week, Gary?
69.
Nice. Nice.
So Gary finishes. Gary finishes the run today, and then he's like, I gotta go back out there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Is it, yeah, cool down or something? He was like, I gotta go get 0.11 miles.
0.01.
0.01. Like
I had to look at 68.99. I said, not good enough.
I need that 69. That's what he said. Oh wow. But yeah,
on the sex offenders list saying that too loud.
Chill out, bro. Chill out. We was at a park too, man. Relax. But yeah, no, it's and where you at right now, Aaron? Because you're doing a half marathon training, so
yeah, I finished this week at 62, so back to back 60 weeks. So yeah, kind of cool.
How did the 5K feel at this point in your? Because we did our 5Ks like kind of before training started. Technically, you just did a 5K race in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
So it was my second fastest 5K that I've ever ran. It was promising because, like I said, I haven't had a rest day since last Friday. So, and it wasn't really a taper or anything that was built into it. And I haven't done like since I ran Bayshore, it kind of extended out my recovery. So I didn't really get a chance to do much like speed specific stuff. I know I was jealous when you guys were doing all the summer speed stuff because I really wasn't there. I was still kind of just base building. Mm-hmm. So I haven't like specifically prepared for a 5K. So to go out there and run a decent time was cool. Promising to see my VDOT score go up a little bit in the app. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it was good. And I will say I didn't have that moment that I had in at the Tracksmith or even in Dearborn where I was like, okay, I have to make a decision if I'm going to keep going or stop. Like, because I knew I knew the wall, quote unquote, the wall that I had to break through. And I feel like I reacted a little better to it this time around than I had the last few times. So it's kind of like reinforcement that racing is a skill, especially something like the 5K. It's just like being able to like withstand that intensity of racing a hard 5K.
Yeah.
I think that's what, obviously simulators are really great for like other reasons, but I think that's also one of the reasons why it's especially if you can do a race instead of just going out and doing a long run by yourself, it like introduces you to like the pain or like the anxiousness and all that stuff, even if it doesn't necessarily go that well. Because I've heard a lot of people have terrible simulator races that didn't go to plan and then go crush their marathon. I think it's just dipping your feet back in the water and go, okay, here's where we are. And then you go race day and it's like you've already kind of done those jitters. And that's why I think maybe back to the Berlin Chicago thing, I think it's like you're so like used to, okay, this is just let's go after it again, you know?
Yeah. You slay that dragon and then it's like, okay, now I get to fight again. And I have more tools and I have more mental like things that I can pull out the toolbox if I need to, just off what I just did 2 weeks ago. So yeah, it's definitely a skill.
Because I think we forget though, like from if you do a marathon and then you wait like 4 or 5 months or more to do another one, you almost forget like how weird weird that is, you know, like it's
Bro, I
it's a
get back to
different
work
thing.
after a long weekend and I forget my password to log into my computer. So I definitely forget the feeling of a marathon 5 months later for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. So like when you get tattoos, right? So you never remember how terrible it is because you wouldn't go back if you did. You know, like so like as soon as they start, it's like you got whoa. Wait a minute here. Is this something different than the last time? But it's like thing like we push off the bad stuff normally. You know what I mean? Like the pain at least, you know? It's easy to forget. It's kind of weird.
It's like a woman
But
saying, I want to have another child.
Yeah, I mean,
hats off. Hats off.
Why would you want to do that?
You know? Good. If we wouldn't even be here. Thank you to all the women that were just like, yeah, let's do it again.
Let's have another.
I'll have another. Okay. All right. It's after 9:00.
But
Guys.
before we get out of here,
Okay.
I did just want to mention that we all were there yesterday. We run 3-on-3. We held our first.
No, hold on. Pause. Not that type of pause.
Okay.
Hold on. Like actual pause.
Yeah.
This deserves a. Right? Doesn't it deserve that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Bam, there it is. Tommy typed with his 2 fingers like he's 50 years old. So yeah, we run 3-on-3. Held the first run the 3-on-3 5K. That was their official 5K hosted by We Run 3-on-3 in the city of Detroit in Palmer Park. It was an amazing event. It's like crazy to have been around since the beginning of the Run Club and just like seeing how everything has grown. Just seeing how far we've came. We were all just like amateur runners when we started. I mean, we're still amateur runners, but we were just very new to the running space. We didn't really know like what we were doing or anything like that, but we knew we wanted to influence and impact the community. And I feel like yesterday was just a great celebration of that. I think the final count was 415 out of 400 people. So we only have 400 medals. We have 415 signups, so it was oversold. And yeah, it was amazing. I was at the finish line once I finished, and I cheered everybody in. It was just crazy to see like new faces, old faces, people that's been around throughout the entire journey. It was a very surreal event, but it went off without a hitch. It was a great course. The music was great. Everything. The vendors were great. It was an awesome experience, and I was so happy that I could be a part of it. And I finished 6th in the race, so that was cool too. But it was super cool, man.
And technically, like if you let Joe tell the story, you finished 4th because the first 2 people didn't even count, man. They did like 15:01 and then like 15, like what 20 something. Gary was he was pretty close, right? Or maybe 16. He might have been a minute behind.
He might have been a minute behind by the time he came on that last turn.
Yeah. But yeah, I
side to side for a good portion.
Yeah.
And then apparently Joe was telling us the story. He was on the bike going Instagram Live because he's the race director, so he's got Instagram Live filming the guy run or whatever. And then he was like, I guess he had slowed down in the second mile, and then he was like, "Yeah, people on Instagram saying you should negative split," and he lied because wasn't nobody saying nothing. And he said, "You say you negative split," and then what's his name? Corey sped up, he sped up, and then I think he just dropped homie. And his boy probably like, "Yo, that was not the plan, bro." Right here. But he said, "Okay, I'm gonna show you negative split." But I guess at one point Joe said he looked down and it was going in the first mile. I think it was like 450 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that adds up. I mean,
15:01. Yeah. But yeah, it was really cool to see that happen. Obviously I knew what was happening. You know, like I came because I wanted to support, but somehow and even though they're doing the announcements, I'm like, okay, yeah, same thing. But then when the race started, and then the DJ put on 3-6 Mafia, right? Who run it? it just like all of a sudden hit me like, oh, this is their race. This is We Run 303's race. And then from that moment on, I'm like, this is amazing. Like it took like that shift because at that point, there's no way, there's no other race, no other race, but no other race I've been to that would have picked that song to start a race. Only my people would pick that song. So that's when it clicked for me. I'm like, oh, and then I was like hyped, and the rest of the day was amazing. But it took like that little subtle change, and that's like one of the things that like that people I don't think a lot of people wouldn't understand, like how important representation is, not just like in the having someone that looks like someone on at a place, but like having that person have some type of like leverage and power or say in how things are run and the way things are done. Because having Joe and Lance and partnering up with Trivium, right? Because it was a Trivium event. Just having them do it would have been one thing, and it'd been like, oh, I'm really proud of you guys. But actually giving them the agency to like do their thing completely, changed the whole energy of that thing. So it's like, that was so important, and that just showed me like how important like not just our presence is, but our opinions, our voices, and our like likes and dislikes to be like heard and changed and used. You know what I'm saying? Because it was from that moment on, I was like 100% sold, and I was hype and running. It was great day.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, we didn't race in it, but we just running alongside y'all and just picking out different people and running alongside them and cheering them on. It was a lot of fun. It was really. I mean, the weather was great. The crowd was, the whole crowd, not crowd, but like all the runners were super excited to be there. It was a good day.
Yeah, really, really great day. Hats off to the squad for putting that together, and I can't wait to do it. Next year. It'll just be even better.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm racing it next year. I don't care what's happening. I'm racing in it.
Yeah, I couldn't miss it, man. I couldn't miss it. And then shout out. This is the shirt.
Oh yeah. You made the shirt, right?
Yeah, I designed the logo and everything for the race. So
I feel like that got some that got a little exercising demons fairy dust on there.
He is I and I am him. You feel me?
Yeah.
He's only right.
Yeah. I like that. But yeah. So with that, I think the next time that we all talk as a team, unless y'all do it next Sunday without me, which would be great. But if you don't, then I will see y'all on the other side. Please stay tuned to all the stuff that's popping. Watch my stories while I'm in Berlin. I'll be flying out Wednesday. A couple brands sent me a few different things to take with me to help with certain things. So I'll be highlighting that stuff, of course. But hopefully race day goes as planned or better. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the other side, man.
Yeah, have a great race.
Yes, sir. For sure.
I'm sure I'll talk to you before then, but for the viewers.
Yeah. Let's act like we want each other. See you guys. Pray for me.
Goodbye, Tommy. Goodbye.
If anybody has any suggestion or guidance or tips for Berlin for Tommy runs, send it to him on Instagram. Blow his DMs up.
Yeah. Hit me up on DM me if you got any suggestions of what I should do.
Good vegan restaurants too, if y'all have recommendations.
Oh yeah, please. If anybody knows vegan restaurants in Berlin, please let me know. I have not gotten to the vegan portion of Duolingo yet. So I gotta figure out how to say vegan in German. But all right, y'all. Peace out. Somebody gotta hit the button.